Hey there, friend. Thanks for joining Power to the Flower. It's Wheelbarrow Day, and I'm excited to share with you how I designed and planted this wheelbarrow for my friend Elaine. Are you planning a wheelbarrow planter? I hope you find this video helpful as I share with you the steps that I go through when planning a planter from start to finish.
All right, so in this wheelbarrow, we have all the soil that was put in it last year, as well as a few pumpkins that were homegrown here at Elaine's house. We'll use those later. So what we need to do is empty this all out, and then I'm going to be adding some compost, some loam builder, and some starter fertilizer into the mix to get it ready for the new plants. All right, let's do it.
After inspecting the soil, there wasn't any obvious problems with rot or pests, so I decided to keep as much as I could. I cut out the root systems of all of the old plants after removing the plants, and then just started to dig around and find any knotty roots and pull them out. I added loam builder, there's the fertilizer, and then compost, and then mixed it all up. I topped off the whole mixture with good potting soil so that the soil level was about an inch under the wheelbarrow edge.
So, a few top tips for your wheelbarrow success. Number one, make sure you have drilled holes in the bottom of your wheelbarrow so it can drain freely. Number two, make sure you're starting with great soil, and that's going to make sure that the plants have lots of nutrients to grow and bloom over this next fall season. Now, what we need to do is start with the pumpkins, and then I'm going to plant around them.
So here's the backstory on the design. My client, Elaine, had said she had homegrown pumpkins, and I envisioned one gigantic one in the center of the wheelbarrow. So when I showed up and there was a pile of smaller ones, this was a little change up to my expectations. But this is the reason why I love container design, because you can never totally plan, and part of it is the challenge of trying to make it all work. I used 3 ballerina white gaura. This is an evergreen in terms of its foliage in our zone, but it's a perennial bloomer from spring through fall. It will eventually reach 12 inches wide and therefore take the place of the pumpkins. It's quite compact, so I thought it would be a perfect thriller for the center of this wheelbarrow. I really love flowering kale and cabbage as a fall and wintertime filler plant. I also love the fall feel that mums give. So at this point, I'm thinking about how to design the wheelbarrow. The side that's facing us as the viewer is the side that faces their patio and all of their windows. So this is the main side. So I decide that the purple Calibrachoa as a spiller plant with its bright purple color is the perfect plant to center this wheelbarrow side. Bonus for those of us in zones 9 and above, Calibrachoa is a bloomer through the winter. After planting the 2 kale and the 2 mums on the front side, I added 2 sweet potato vines called Sweet Caroline. I love how these turn colors in the fall. So on the back side of the wheelbarrow, I did the opposite of what I did in the front. I used 2 Calibrachoa in the corners, and I used 1 kale in the center. So I just traded those around. You can see all sides of the wheelbarrow from different angles in the garden, so it will be good to have the whole thing filled. I then used mums as fillers and toppled over those pumpkins and then fixed them. Added a few, and the gaura definitely helped to stabilize everything in the middle. At the end of the day, I ended up using 5 of those pumpkins. As you've noticed, some of the plants I've actually laid on their side, and so now I'm going around with potting soil and just tucking them in to make sure that there is soil around the entire root ball of each plant, and so it is going to mound up a bit, but that's going to be fine. You just have to be a little bit careful when watering. My next filler plant were gourds, actually, and this is a really fun thing to do in the fall. Rather than fill all of the soil up with plants, you can actually use gourds or little pumpkins to fill up some of that soil space and await the plants to grow to their kind of mature size. So this is great. As the plants grow, you can remove the gourds and use them elsewhere if you want, or you can just leave them and have them kind of pop out and sneak out, and it's a fun little surprise. At this point in my design process, I am feeling pretty good about how everything's looking, but I still feel like the color tone is rather muted and I wanted a little bit of a pop. So I began to add in Impatiens. Those Impatiens are quite bright and they're kind of an orange peach color, and so I just thought they were the perfect addition to this purple, orange, yellow, green, gray color palette.
And ta-da! Here we have our final result. So there you have it. I hope this was fun and inspirational for you, and I'd love to see your wheelbarrow. Please post pictures, Give me some comments and let me know what you think and what you're working on. You can find me on Instagram at Power to the Flower, Facebook at Power to the Flower WC, as well as my YouTube channel. You can Google search that by searching Power to the Flower YouTube channel and find me there. Okay, thanks for joining me and see you in the next one. Bye!